Hello and welcome. Let's talk a little bit about the COBI set 5714, the Vought F4U Corsair from the historical collection. Now, this fighter plane that was used by the United States from 1942 to 1953 is a very unique one in the whole plane collection from COBI. And you can trace it back to one design point from the original plane, and that's also put into the model of it. And that's the design of the wings. Now, the wings are a little bit bent, and COBI is no stranger to that because they already did it in the Messerschmitt Bf110C bomber. They have there the wings are also otherwise they also have a little bend in them, but they put it to a new level with this little model because not only are the wings bent, but you are able to pull them up. Let's put it this way, a very unique design choice and little, how to put it, a little design point if you're a collector and have not that much space around. But to be honest, I really like it if you put the wings down. So what do I mean when I said that this little design choice had a little, or has a lot influence on the way this whole thing is built? Now, normally, if you if you have already put together a plane from COBI, you know one thing, or you will quickly learn one thing. The way they are put together are very similar to each other. You start with the wings, you get to the engine, and then the rest of the plane, mostly to the back. Here it's a little bit different because you don't start with the wings. You start with a base plate. You get to the back, then build the engine, and then come back to the wings. Why is that? Because as you have, you could see the way the wings, or the way they are put together. Yeah, no clue why, but I think it's because they are all put to the base plate, so it's a little bit easier to start with that and add the wingspan at the end of it. But yeah, it was an interesting thing because normally you, as I said, you start with the wings, and it got a little bit confusing. Now, don't take that too hard. It's not confusing putting together. It's confusing if you are a vivid builder and have built a lot of these planes already. So that is just a thing for you if you're a little bit, or if you're normally just are accustomed to the way these planes are built. But does this mean that the plane was hard to build? Actually not. This was one of the easiest ones because of the way you put it together. Normally, when you put them together, you start putting the base parts out of the wing, then add them, and you get so frustrated because just one little tip and all the parts start flying around because the connector parts come 5 or sometimes 6 steps later, sometimes the next step. You didn't have that here. Yes, you had the first step. If you put the wings together, you had I think you had 6 parts you put side by side. But the connectors come with the next step. The connectors, you put them on, and everything is fine in this way. So, yeah, it was really quite a surprise for me. And as I said, this makes this whole set really, really easy putting together. And the wings are just clipped in, so there are no extra moving parts in there. So yeah, it's, as I said, it's very unique for all the plane models I have built to date. Because it's very easy putting together. It's very, very the way you're putting it together is very easy to understand. It makes a lot of sense, a lot more sense than the other planes, and it's just from building aspect. This is one for a first time builder and an amateur. Normally I wouldn't say that to the other planes because when you build the other planes, you should have built some sets of them to get a feel for it. But here, if you give this one to someone who has never built one of these kind of models, yeah, do it. It's a really great one. The next thing I really like again, is since COBI started doing pad printing, no stickers you have, or sticker sheets you have to put down. It works. All the prints are very crisp, very fine. You can see it especially on the engine part at front. You can identify the 167 no problem. You can even see the parts where it's break through. It's not blurry, nothing. It's also on the body itself, on the wings. You can see it very good. It's a little bit, yeah, it's not so clear on the back part, but yeah, again, very great work from COBI in that case. But there's one big problem. Now, normally I have no problem with that, because I say it's something you can't avoid. But here it's really bothering me in many ways. Now, normally when you get these things, they're bound to you get some scratches on the parts, and normally in the other parts, when you have some brown colors or some matte colors, you don't see them that much. Here you have the problem. You will see them very good and very extreme. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but here there are so many scratches on these two parts. Also here, it's because they're gloss and you see them directly. Then you have the blue. Now don't get me wrong, the color, the blue color is really great. I really love the coloring of this whole plane. But yeah, having this darker blue color, having this gloss on there, you see every scratch on it, and it's really a shame, because the plane itself really looks fantastic. I really like this model in that way. But that's really it's hard. You can't overlook it. I would recommend, if you build this one, yeah, maybe think about if you have a way to cover them, because as I said, it's a really shame that they were packaged in the same bags than all the other small parts. It was bound to happen, and yeah, I think a lot of people maybe have a problem with that if they see that. That brings me to other small problems. As much as I like this one, the way the wing is constructed has another big flaw to it, and that's on the that's from below. Sorry. How they did it was they put these two parts. I hope you can see it. Right. It's just there's no really connection part that you can put in and it holds. They're just two little spots. You just put it in there and it just catches it in the plate under here. And if you're one who, I would say, tries to set up his shelf once in a while a little bit different, or I would say once a week, I think at some point this will get damaged and the wing will be very loose. I don't know. Normally, this is something I find quite strange, because other parts, COBI, or let's put it this way, every time COBI puts some parts you can bend or to anything like that, they have some parts that just connect into each other, so they hold tight. But here they did it a little bit different. Again, I think it's just the way the wings are designed, so they couldn't put bigger parts in there, so the whole part would be longer or would look a little bit, yeah, I think it would look a lot different and wouldn't work in any way from the design perspective. So yeah, it's a small thing, but yeah, I would say decide how you want to place this plane, and stick with it, and don't change the position of the wings so often, so this part doesn't starts flapping around. This brings us to the second part, because now the wheels can be put down, and here's what I said about the wings. You can see here this little connector part just catches in there, so it works really well. But what doesn't work well in my eyes is that this whole part here, they just put it in the open. Normally they hide a little bit, do it like some box the wheels catch in there, and very strange that they are just put up here in the open with small crevices in here. it looks a little bit strange from the underside. So this whole part here with the catching parts of pins from the wing, I would say this is a plane you like to look from above, not so much from the underside. Depends how much you like it. It's, as I said, it's just a little detail I personally don't like. I think a lot of people don't mind it, and again, I don't mind it either. It's just, it's a little bit strange, but again, this whole plane is a little bit strange in this whole series of COBI models. But one thing I can't overlook, and this is this part here, down below. I don't know if it's, I think it's an extra tank, not a bomb. This is one I quite don't understand, and it's the back part. This is just a little piece that puts you put it in here, and it's very, very loose. Normally they have these parts where you can plug them in from both sides. Here they decide just to put a long, just one very, well, not long, one very short pin in there. Put one of these caps on there, and you just put it in here. But it doesn't stay there. You just have to riddle a little bit, and yeah, it comes loose. No clue why they did it. So if you put this somewhere, put it somewhere where it doesn't move a lot, because at some point I guarantee you this part comes up and gets loose in other parts, especially if you have it in the open. So I really don't understand why they did this way. This makes no sense, because everywhere else they have these small, or let's put it, they have these small pins you can put in here, so it holds tight. No clue why they didn't put it something similar in this part. It makes no sense, but yeah, this is the worst part of this whole model for me. Again, it's just a small detail, but it can become very annoying in many ways. So what do you get also to this model? As always, you get a little plane, a little pilot, a little Navy pilot. To be honest, I really like these figures of COBI. I know they're not that beloved, but I think they work. There are some that look a little bit off, but most of the figures you get for the historical collection, they worked for me in many ways. I don't know why, but it's just me maybe, but I like this little guy. And as always, you also get the stand with the type on it. And yeah, there's nothing really wrong with the stands. I mean, the stand is the same for every plane you can get, except the bombers. It's it works. You can put your plane on it to display it if you put it in the right pack, so in the right hole. And now I lost something. Yeah, and the only problem I have with it, it's a little bit wobbly. But as I said, that's with every plane. If I quite like them in my ways. I like to display the planes this way, but again, that's your choice. I can't say how you would do them. I like the stand, some don't like them. Personal opinion. So yeah, just a quick look at the Vought F4U Corsair. If you want the I can tell you the measurements from the plane itself. If it's open, the height of a plane from the wheels to the highest part is 12 centimeters, 4.7 inches. The length from the top spot to the left is 27 centimeters, about 10.6 inches. And the wingspan, if you have put them open, is 34.5 centimeters, about 13.6 inches. Yeah, it's a really good model, even with its flaws. And if you're a collector of the historical planes from COBI, I highly recommend it. And if you're new to the whole COBI sets, this is a great start, even with the flaws I have said. Especially the flaws of the gloss parts on the upper side, it's still a great model. And as I said, these parts you can, I think with a little bit elbow grease, you can get them out of there. and yeah, then you won't see them. But again, it's a detail that or a problem that goes through all of the models or all the COBI series. But yeah, for a price around, I think between 25 and 35 euro, and I think dollar, it would be nearly the same. Yeah, it's a very good.